Good morning. We are departing airborne, and it says 80,000 feet here, but it's actually more like 100 in the Darkstar. We're just a little bit north of Seattle, so we'll shoot down here close to Portland, and it says 5 minutes, and there's a little city in here, little town, not city, a very small town, wide spot on the road called Petrolia, and that's apparently the first oil well in California. Oil was discovered there. First oil well. And then we'll make a left turn, and of course at Mach 9 it takes a little while, so probably around Eureka, right in here, Humboldt Bay, we'll start our turn, and then we head south to Los Angeles. So it's a two-leg trip. We go just to the east of San Francisco, over Mount Diablo, just east of the East Bay. Probably follow along 680 here, and actually that's going to be right up in here, but we don't need that, and we'll go right down into LA. We know how to find LA, so let's get with it. And we are not going here. I should know what that is, and that could be Mexico. So here we're over Seattle, ready to fly, and we got to turn on a few things. We'll go ahead and stop. We'll stop our progress right here.
7 Bravo Charlie, contact Seattle Center on 126.6.
We can do that while we're stopped. We'll go ahead and do that. No, actually we don't.
126.6 experimental 7 Bravo Charlie.
We'll just get off that frequency, so we won't get Seattle Center, and we're heading 180. Sure. So we'll get standby on the scramjet, and then we'll put the throttle all the way up and take the brakes off. We don't need the brakes on. Put that all the way up, and we'll get right back in here. So we will when we click this, we're doing Mach 2.93. So the scramjets will come on. Here, we've got to turn this on. Scramjets will come on, and we will be off and running. So here we go. We are off and running. So we have to push the nose down a little bit. And Seattle is right below us. Let's go outside. We'll look right down at Seattle.
Delta 2870 heavy climb and maintain 14,000
Seattle,
feet.
and I should be able to see SeaTac. Let's see if we see SeaTac. I don't quite see SeaTac, but it would be right down there. There's SeaTac. We already went over, and Seattle is north of that. So we're heading for Portland, and I can see the Columbia River coming in right there. We're down to 90,000 feet. I'm going to go ahead and get us off of this frequency.
Center Experimental 527 Bravo Charlie, flight level 870.
Experimental 527 Bravo Charlie,
so
center
we're supposed
radar
to go
contact.
over
Continue
Portland
to
right
contact.
there, and then we'll get rid of that. And nearest airport, we'll go to Harris 122.9, and they won't bother us. And we're coming right up on Portland right down here, and we can see the Columbia River going out to the east. We can see Mount Hood right out there, and we'll just keep it going here. We're down to 70,000 feet. We can see the Willamette River going off down to the south in Willamette Valley, and we can now see what we did in the F-15. We can look out to the mouth of the Columbia River over here to Washington, where I went and visited my mother. Looking down the coast, this is probably Coos Bay, right in there. And what we're doing is we're still losing altitude. We just go right down the valley here. It looks like yeah, we got to stay to the right side of the valley. It's coming in. We're still losing altitude, but we've got our scramjets kicked in. Let's go back inside and get this. Yeah, it's climbing, so we'll head straight on down. I like seeing the coast, everything here, and when we get down to San Francisco, we'll kick in the night. I don't know what time of day we are, but that doesn't matter. And we're heading out of the Willamette Valley, and we should see right down along in here Roseburg and Medford. We'll see Medford over slightly to the left, not very far. Maybe right over there. We'll see Mount Shasta out on the coast. Well, actually, we're going to be heading out toward the coast, so we should see Mount Shasta along in here, and we should see Humboldt Bay. We're supposed to get over Humboldt Bay. Gosh, we're up to 120,000 feet. But that's where we get into the thin air, and we breathe better there. And then we're going to get down here to the point at which we're halfway to Los Angeles. We're at 140,000 feet. That's all right. There's probably Crescent City right in there. We'll see if we spot Humboldt Bay. We're going to go out to this point, the furthest point to the west. There I can see Humboldt Bay. We're going to start turning left. We're coming back down again. Let's look and see if we see Medford and Mount Shasta. Okay, this is Mount Shasta right in there. And Medford I can't quite pick out, but I'm going to just guess Medford is right about in there. We have to keep an eye on Humboldt Bay, and Petrolia is where we turn to head south toward LA, where we go just left of San Francisco. Clearly see Humboldt Bay, and this is the beach along which I used to live at this end of the beach, Moonstone Beach, overlooking the beach right there. And then Trinidad is right down there, Trinidad Rock. And this is where I went to college and where I flew the mail. I see Arcata Airport right there, and that's where I flew out of that to carry the mail down to San Francisco. And right in here we can see the Eel River coming in. We're right over Humboldt Bay. We're down to 60,000 feet again. That's okay, we can deal with that. And right in here is Petrolia, the first oil well. We can see the North Fork and South Fork of the Eel River. And here's where we turn to the left to head for San Francisco. Probably should have started a little earlier, but you probably want to fly down the coast rather than the San Joaquin Valley. And we can see we'll be seeing San Francisco Bay at some point here, and San Francisco, but the direct course from Petrolia there to LA goes over Concord inland from San Francisco. This is Point Reyes, so San Francisco is this indentation in the distance down here. So we're keep coming around. We're getting back up to 100,000 feet. There's Clear Lake out in there, up by Ukiah. And we should see right along in here is we're right over Fort Bragg, and there's Little River Airport, which I landed at. And I'm not sure what that point is right in there. We have to continue left. I can see Point Reyes sticking out, and I think Bodega Bay. This goes down here to Inverness, right along here, and Sea Ranch is right along in here. Here's the Russian River coming out from Santa Rosa, right in there. This could be Bodega Bay, right there. I forget what this little strip going into Inverness is. Stinson Beach is right down in here. Mount Tamalpais is right along in there. There's San Francisco, and can't quite see the Golden Gate Bridge. Here's Half Moon Bay. We should be able to see the there we're looking at. Hey, I saw the Farallones sitting out there. Let's look at the Farallon Islands right below us. The Farallones. So there's San Francisco International. Then we go down to San Jose Airport. Here's the Monterey Bay. It's right there. We live at the bottom, right on this little peninsula, Pacific Grove. Pebble Beach, Carmel Bay is right in there, and then on down to Big Sur. Big Sur is right down in there. Salinas is over there. And I had planned the trip where we were going to fly right along I-5 over in here, but I like the coast. I like the coast better. We're heading down toward LA. We can almost see LA right now. We can see the Santa Barbara Islands. They're got another name for them. San Clemente Island. I forget that. Look at, we're at 200,000 feet, and we're going Mach 10. I didn't know, if you got to 200,000 feet, you really get moving. And so we are going to have to, and of course Santa Barbara is just around this corner, right along in here where the islands are. That's why I call them the Santa Barbara Islands. Let's see if we see anything in the valley here that I recognize. Of course, Fresno and Bakersfield are going to be coming down in here. Bakersfield is probably right about in there, maybe. And we have to start coming down. We're going to bring the power back. And we're looking down at Santa Barbara. I was going to do this at night, but I'm glad I didn't, because it's really attractive. Now we're looking down at Santa Catalina Island is right in there. The Grapevine would go right over here. Now we're going to start looking for Los Angeles, and I think that's going to be probably right along in here. We'll spot it. So we're down to 200,000. We still got our. I think we just have our afterburners on. So we need to go inside and turn off our scramjets. There we go. And we need to go back outside so we can figure out where we're going to land. And figure out LA. There's the mountains in there. not quite clued in on Los Angeles yet. We can pick it up on this chart here. Right there's Santa Barbara. We're not a beam here. Santa Barbara's going to be right along in here. So down here by Catalina Island. Yeah, see here's LAX right there. Santa Catalina's just passed. So right along in here. This is probably Palos Verdes sticking out. This is probably LAX right along in there. So we're doing just fine. And we are, let's see here. I can't quite figure out which machine is ours. Yeah, maybe we're not quite there yet. Oh, here we are. We're out here over the island. We're the largest one. So we're just going by Santa Barbara right now. And we have to get down into LA. We can keep turning to the left. 120,000 feet. We'll let it glide. And let it keep coming around to get down in LA. We'll put this up to the left. Here we go, so we can see Catalina. I can see the isthmus, and Avalon is at the far end there. I think this is LAX right there. 89,000 feet. We're down to Mach 4, and I see LA Harbor right in there. So we overshoot LA just a little bit. We'll go right over Palos Verdes and come around and land on runway 28. We'll look over at Catalina for a minute here as we're slowing down. And 60,000 feet. Going right to LA Harbor. San Pedro, Palos Verdes, and there's Torrance Airport right there. Long Beach Airport probably is going to be right in there. This is my old stomping grounds. Hawthorne Airport is right there, and then LAX. We'll go into LAX right there. And where are we at now? Our altitude is 38,000 feet. This could be Long Beach Airport right here. Then we'll look south. No, you know, that's going to be John Wayne Airport. John Wayne. Yeah, we'll pick it up as we'll key off of that, turning. We don't have to go quite that far. Probably Long Beach right there. There's Long Beach. So we'll go right around Long Beach Airport, go right over LA Harbor, and we're down under Mach 1. We're going 500 knots, truing out at 500 knots. We're 21,000 feet. We can go ahead and take this off now. And we'll look over toward LAX, and right up there. So we'll keep it, we want to keep it at about 200, and we need to get down to about 1,000 feet. And we'll keep an eye on the airport out over there. Coming around. Got Torrance on our tail, which is the airport. I didn't know. Zamperini Field. I used to just call it Torrance. There's my old stomping grounds where I got my commercial license was Jack Northrop Field. I called it Hawthorne Field. And we're coming on around. We'll land on the left runway at LA. Get out of everybody's way. And we'll notice, we'll see downtown LA. The freeways kind of come up here. We're not close enough for downtown LA to stick out like a sore thumb. Probably it's right in here. And we're right at 300. We can slow down a little bit. 6,000 feet. And we'll move the sun out of our eyes. We'll put it earlier in the day. How about 10 in the morning? 10 something in the morning. That'll keep it, like I said, keep it out of our eyes. So again, we're going into LAX. I want to be sure, don't want to go into, yeah, that's it. See all kinds of strobes. Four, I think they have 4 runways there. So down to 4,000 feet. We can go on the tail now. Now we see downtown Los Angeles. We've gotten close enough that the computer adjusts from kind of a blur, which you see just a blur up here. You can't see individual buildings, to where you start getting more defined. So we'll keep lined up for the left runway. I forget what freeway this is going right along here, right past. I don't think that freeway was there when I was getting my commercial license over here at Jack Northrop Hawthorne Field. Now we want to get lined up. We're at 2,000 feet. We'll keep it above 200. We'll get back on the tail. There we go. And then we'll go over SoFi Stadium, but the stadium isn't there because these pictures are from over 5 years ago. So all we'll see is the foundation. I'm seeing it just over the right wing in Inglewood. And we get lined up on the left runway. So one of these days I'm going to upgrade. Put the wheels down. There's no flaps. Yeah, I think this is where the stadium is in Inglewood. That's what that open ground is. We're right at 200 knots. We got lots of runway, so I'm not going to try to put it on the end of the runway. Yep, that's SoFi Stadium on the right, and Inglewood is right there. And 180, we need to increase the speed a little bit. And then this is we went over the Harbor Freeway, maybe just a minute ago, and then this is the San Diego Freeway that we go over just short of the airport. I think we're doing fine. It doesn't like it. It doesn't like it. So anyway, we did make it, and this is our hotel for tonight. Anyway, I have glitches with my machine, so let's click on here and see if it goes back to. No, it goes back to the beginning. So we just made touchdown in Los Angeles, and we're gonna click back off. Thanks for riding along. That's our West Coast high speed run. Thanks for joining me. 25 minutes. That's pretty good.